If Harry Sue can do pork belly like a brisket, we can do pork belly like a brisket too. Welcome back to another week of the FOGO Life. That's right, you heard me correctly. You've probably noticed we're on a little bit of a trend of cooking things like a brisket. Well, guess what? We're doing it again. This time, pork belly. I saw Harry Sue do this and it looked amazing. So if he can do it amazing, we're gonna try and do it amazing. So, while you're here, hit subscribe on the channel, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what else you think we should cook like a brisket. Or maybe you're like half the people out there, don't want to see anything else cooked like a brisket. We've gotten a few of those comments too. In any case, we're just glad you're here. Now let's get started. So we got this idea from Harry Sue to cook this whole entire pork belly, just like a brisket. It's a beautiful chunk. I got this one at Costco. You can buy them at a lot of different butchers. If you don't see it, ask your butcher for it. Maybe they can help you out. As you can see, it's got plenty of beautiful fat in it here. And the nice part about this, instead of a brisket, is we don't have to trim it. We're gonna cook this whole thing and every single bite of it is gonna be edible. I like that, no waste, good stuff. So we're gonna take this out of the package. We're gonna maybe just take a beautiful look at it and admire it for a minute, and then we'll get started. The underside is just a complete fat cap, like brisket. Maybe we should smoke it like a brisket. What a great idea. Now, this is what's normally used to make bacon. You can see it has a big meat line through it, but it's also predominantly fat. It's gonna render down beautifully. It's gonna make a nice tender bite, but most of all, this is what's normally used to make bacon, so it's got a nice texture to it already too. Can you believe this thing is 10.5 pounds? We're gonna eat all of it. Now, let's get to seasoning. We're gonna do something a little bit different, not for us, same thing. We're gonna use our standard mayonnaise binder. Now, mayonnaise is a lot of fat. We're not gonna add more fat on top of more fat. No, that's not why we're doing it. We just wanna get that nice flavor that mayonnaise is gonna add to it. I think it gives it a great flavor. The other thing we're gonna do, we're gonna use coarse cracked black pepper, okay? Then we're gonna use coarse kosher salt, nice gritty salt. We're gonna combine them up together. We're gonna slather that mayo on here. Now, this is skinless, okay? If yours has skin on it for this application, you probably wanna take the skin off, make chicharrones, do whatever you wanna do. But for this one, no skin, salt, pepper, mayo, that's it. If you don't have one of these, get yourself one. It's great for spreading out different kinds of seasonings when you make them yourself. Awesome, from Cambro. We are all seasoned up and we are ready to start cooking. Now we're gonna light the grill. The nice part about cooking in Kamado grills like the Big Green Egg is we still have charcoal left from the last cook. So we're just gonna reuse our old charcoal. We're gonna throw a couple of these here lighters into our blaze ball and get this fire going. Let's get it started. Boom. And like I said, we're gonna smoke this pork belly. So we're gonna put some of these, my favorite bourbon-proof, barrel-proof bourbon blocks in here. Set it around here so that as it goes, we don't want them catching fire quite yet. But as it burns, it will smoke, generating smoke. We want about the first hour, hour and a half to be smoke all over this. We're gonna cook indirect. We're gonna put our deflector in here. We're gonna put a pan of water in here because I wanted to catch some of this fat. A lot of fat in the pork belly. We are at 225 degrees. Probably gonna let it go to 250, but since we're at 225, we can put our pork belly on here, let it start smoking. We put this on here with the fat side down. We're gonna leave the meat side up. Let this catch all the smoke. Little pro tip for you. If you look at this thing right now, it's starting to build a pool of water on top. Little pro tip, take a couple of smoking wood blocks and stick it underneath there so that the water rolls off it. Guess what? We hit 165. We let it go for a couple more minutes. I wanted to tighten that bark up a little, so we went to 170 on this thing. Time to wrap it. Let's take this baby off of here. Woo-wee, look at that. Like I said, we wanted that bark to set up a little bit more. So we're gonna take this, lay it right on our paper, get her ready for wrapping. She's wrapped. She's ready to go back on, right? No, 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 no. We're doing this exact same way Harry Sue did it. So, he used a pan. So we're gonna put our pork belly brisket in this pan right here. And then he finished his in an oven. No, sorry, this is a charcoal video. We are using the big green egg to finish it. So let's put it back on, shall we? Now we got that part, so we don't really know a finishing temperature on this thing. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna check it every once in a while. We wanna do the same thing. Probe tender, just like your brisket. We want it to be a probe to go in and out with no problem, no resistance whatsoever. That's what we're gonna do. Now we wait. Oh boy, we've hit 203 degrees. Time to pull this thing off of here. Woo-wee, look at that. It looks just like a wrapped up brisket, doesn't it? All right, so we're gonna pull this off of here. We're gonna open up that paper. We're gonna let it rest for a little bit. So let's pull it up. Oh, it's heavy. I think it went from 10 to 30 pounds. I know this sounds funny, but I'm just so excited. Let's rip this thing open and see what it looks like here. I feel like Christmas morning here. Oh yeah, well, we got a little pool there. Nice, nice bark though. Yeah, we're gonna let that cool for a little bit before we heat it. Kind of the same. We figure this way, okay? The idea of letting a brisket wrap and sit in a cooler wrapped up like that is to allow all the juices to redistribute in there, makes it more tender and like that. This cut of meat doesn't have that intramuscle, like connecting tissue that like a brisket does. We feel that we don't need to wrap it and put it into a Cambro or a cooler. So we're just gonna let this cool for a little bit. We're gonna slice it, and hopefully it's as good as we think it is. Harry Sue definitely thought it was good. His crew thought it was good. Let's see what our crew thinks though. That's what matters. Well, I can tell you this. It looks like a brisket and it wiggles like a brisket. Time for the slicing. Now, the important part. Pulls apart real easy. So as you can see, it's tender. It's got a beautiful smoke ring, smoked like brisket. It's delicious. I mean, it's like really good. Quite frankly, I think it's really just good because of the seasoning that we put on the outside, the salt and pepper. I think it's gonna really take to whatever seasoning that you use. I'd like to try this again. I don't know if it needs to be wrapped or not. Actually, we wanted to do it that style, so I'd like to try it again, not wrapped. I'd like to try it with some different flavors, like a Chinese char siu flavor or maybe an al pastor flavor on the outside. I think that would be really good. But this, wow. All I can say is wow every time I try it. It's really delicious. It's tender, and you get that nice porky flavor through it. You know, moist, super moist, obviously. It's bacon cooked differently. How bad can it be, right? Bacon makes everything better. Anyway, I'm really impressed with this. Harry Sue, thank you. I appreciate you showing the way on this, and I would do this again. I might try it a little differently. Like I said, I don't think we have to wrap it. I don't think that step is necessary. It's plenty juicy. It's plenty tender, just the way that it is. So we enjoyed the cook. We cooked it just like we would a brisket. I know you're probably going, oh, another brisket cook. Well, get ready. We got more coming for you. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Remember, subscribe if you liked what you saw here. Give us a thumbs up. Hit notifications. Ring that bell. You don't want to miss anything else we have coming up. We got a bunch of cool stuff. So thank you so much. Remember to get out and grill, and we'll see you next time on The FOGO Life.